Hello, I am Robin Andrews Smith, and I want to welcome you to 1111 Collaborative. I am so excited to be here today. I am a transitions coach, and I have worked with individuals and families for over 20 years, navigating all kinds of changes across the intersection of the life cycle. So I have worked with adolescents. I've worked with new moms transitioning from careers into sort of the chaos of motherhood. I've worked with men and women who are transitioning through divorces, and now I am finally in my passion working with persons who are either aging with an illness or living with dementia. I am also a guest columnist for the Atlanta Journal's newspaper Aging in Atlanta Special Edition, and so keep an eye out for those this fall. I feel like this second half of life is something that we all need to get more comfortable with. So I think I am one of the few people that I know who is truly and totally not afraid of aging, and I'm also not afraid of getting dementia. And that is because I've had the privilege of working with so many people and seeing that being an elder or living with a diagnosis is possible to hold on to and still live a wonderful life. So today I want to do two things. I am here to invite you into both a conversation, and I also want to invite you into a developing community of care that I am thrilled to be a part of. I was invited into a partnership with Orchard Brookhaven, which is going to be a licensed Alzheimer's memory care and assisted living that will be in Brookhaven, about a mile from Briarcliff Road and Highway 85. So this community is going to be run by two amazing people, Arcady Yakubov and Leslie Finkley, who you are going to meet very soon here in some future posts. So my role is going to be to serve for 9 months at this community as the family liaison and outreach in the community, as well as a transitions coach for any resident or family that is going to be transitioning to be a resident there. So one of the goals for Orchard is to be a community resource. So this is, this is something we're obviously in need of more and more when it comes to aging or dementia, to have more resources for families. It's probably not something you're not aware of. So our idea here is to really be able to be available to you for conversations about aging or dementia, because we know that we have a lot to learn from you if we're going to really expand our ideas of what can be helpful. And then, we think we also have some things that you can learn from us. So our offerings and exchanges and all this are we really believe it can be a win-win for anyone interested in having a conversation about aging or dementia. So why am I doing this? So it is my observation that we are in a season here of really, really tough times when it comes to aging with an illness or living with dementia. So I've been doing this for probably 20-something years, and I've narrowed it down recently to about 3 reasons that I want to share briefly about today. And then, of course, we're going to talk a lot more about this in the weeks ahead. The number one reason is because of cultural stigmas. So I feel like when we kind of look around at what's available, we're just really lacking in the social emotional support systems because of stigma. People are just uncomfortable with this. We're still looking very negatively and kind of from this doom and gloom lens about the journey of aging and dementia. And I think until the stigmas go away, this is going to stay really tough. So I personally am really committed to figuring out how to do something about this. And I know Arcady and Leslie and some of you are also interested in that. So that's, again, why we want to have this conversation, this collaboration. So secondly, I think the other reason is due to professional approaches. I think, just flat out, they need improvement when it comes to the services here. So I believe we've been caught in a medical model, a medical mindset around this. And while, of course, there's, all kinds of medical needs if you're aging, that's going to grow, but it's my opinion that the better approach to this is through more of a behavioral healthcare, social, emotional approach, and these sorts of models of care. Because I believe when you're aging, or if you have a diagnosis of dementia, you're not a problem to solve, right? This is a circumstance to live with. So how are we going to do that? How are we going to live with this? And what would that look like for you, for your family? What would the best experience be for you? And how are you going to live the fullest life possible if you have one of these circumstances, which frankly, if you live long enough, it's pretty likely. And so we're just going to have to get past this as a culture, as a community. We need to move on and stop, acting as if it's not going to happen, and let go of our fears of what we can't control, and shift our focus completely to what we can control, what we can do about it. Because if you're going to live your life to the fullest, you have to be able to do that no matter the circumstance. I mean, all of us are going to face something. So that kind of leads me to my my third reason that we're having some tough times here. So I believe there is a really profound lack of partnership and collaboration. So this is both with the person who is aging or living with dementia, as well as those of us who are working on behalf of that person. The best case scenario, the goal, the bar that I think we should be reaching for is for families and professionals and the person, whatever their limitation, to be working together. I know that many dementia advocates are speaking out really loudly about this right now. They are literally shouting, "Nothing about us without us," because this has been going on for a really long time. And we don't really do this with other health conditions, but we do this to our elders, and we do this to persons diagnosed with dementia. So, it's also, I wanted to say this too, it's also my experience in assisted living that there's a mindset still that the professional is the expert, and the families are supposed to pass their baton to the expert, and then the person sort of ends up in this sort of role as the patient, even though they're in a life residence. They're not in a hospital or a nursing home, but the family and the person, once this has happened, are not really invited into the collaboration of care. And that's really bothersome for me, and I want to see that change. And Orchard is going to be making some great efforts to sort of pilot this concept and this mindset and see how we can really approach everything really, truly in partnership and collaboration with all three, from all three of these perspectives. So we're going to talk a lot more about this and all the things I've shared in the weeks ahead. The team at Orchard and I are truly, truly, truly committed to doing something different when it comes to changing experiences and stigmas of aging and dementia. So what better place to practice that than in the forum of an assisted living community of care? So I believe truly and sincerely that no matter what the circumstance is, we really can create positive, meaningful experiences, and we can be happy even when we have difficult circumstances. But we are going to need a lot of creativity, and we are going to need each other, because this is going to have to be a back and forth so that we can keep learning, and then we can do our best to create new programs and pathways and opportunities, and then we can inspire each other in that process. So I want to tell you the 3 ways that we're going to be available here for you in the weeks ahead. I know you have really busy lives, and you're going through a lot, so we want to make sure to have some various opportunities for you to stay in this conversation with us. So the first thing is I'm going to be posting a post like this once a week. So you can just log on to the website, and these will be recorded, and they'll be there for you to watch at your convenience. Secondly, beginning September 16th, you can join me for Sundays at 11:11. And I'm actually going to lead these live Q&A focus groups at 11:11 a.m., which is really exciting for me, and I'll tell you more about that in the future. But there will be a link on the website, and we'll be doing these open focus group forums on a virtual platform called Zoom. So you just download it to your computer, and then you just click the link, and you can jump on live, and we'll all talk and have a conversation. And then finally, we want to be available to you one-on-one. We want you to come in. We want you to talk to us. We want to answer your questions about assisted living. And we want to hear from you about your experiences, if you've already been lived in one or been involved with one. And what would you imagine? What would you like to see? Because we want to hear that. And we have our ideas about what's going to work and what we want to do differently in the future. And we're going to be exploring that. So thank you so much for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you again this time next week. Thanks so much.